It was roughly noon on a Saturday, and I was not doing what most teenagers do when it's noon on a Saturday. I was not sleeping. I was working at possibly the most respected job a high schooler could have. Do you guys have any guesses to where I was working, what I was doing? Fast food? No, I was not working at Burger King. At my job, it's not about getting it your way. Last summer, I applied to a car dealership for a job selling cars. When I was called in for my interview, I did what my father did before me, tied my tie, put on my best suit, and did what my grandfather did before him, shined my shoes. Apparently, they were so happy that I didn't have piercings in my eyeballs or something like that, because not only did they hire me for this job to wash these cars, they hired me to sell cars. Now, before you scoff and cast aspersions on my profession, it could be worse. My father is a lawyer, and my mom is a psychologist. And whenever they get in an argument, my mom tells my dad that when she was in medical school, the med students would do experiments on rats until they found a better test subject, which was attorneys. You see, they found out that the med students didn't grow as attached to them. There are more of them, and there are some things that even a rat won't do. No, the most respected profession was this one. I was selling cars. It was 12:30 on a Saturday when a family of 5 walked in. The mom was lugging diaper bags, snacks, Game Boys, a camping tent, 5 months' worth of water, and enough coloring books for every man, woman, and child in the Midwest. And then they said the one thing you should never, ever say to a car salesman. We need to buy a car now. Car salesmen get a bad rap. In fact, as far as admiration goes, car salesmen are seen worse as the aforementioned attorneys and cockroaches. In fact, there was a recent study done to find the most disliked group of people. Car salesmen came out as number 2. The most disliked group of people? Congress. I was in quite a predicament with this family. They knew nothing about our brand, nothing about features, nothing about pricing, not a zip zilch. They had no idea what they wanted their payment to be. They had no idea about leasing, trading. They had no idea what their trade was worth. These people would probably be willing to lease a hot dog if I asked them to. But there is one thing I couldn't help but notice. They were a family. And family is not something to be taken for granted. And I needed help with my next few words. You see, earlier in that day, our general manager called us in for a sales meeting. She said that she would give a $500 reward to the person who sold the red 2012 V6 in the showroom. This car has been sitting there since I applied. The car was bright red, V6. It had out-of-date features. It was a coupe, so it only had 2 doors. It was not made for a family of 5. It had a small trunk. You could hardly fit anything in it. It wasn't even fast enough to be a sports car. But a good paycheck is a hard argument. So I take the father of the family's driver's license, and I go back to my desk to write his name down. It's company policy. As I'm writing his name down, for a brief moment, I look up and I notice on my computer screen there is a news article that says the most important quote for anyone in sales. Of course, I click on it. The article told about a man named Herbert Taylor, and he was given the daunting task to take his company, Club Aluminum Distribution, out of bankruptcy. To do so, he created something that he calls an ethical yardstick. It went, is it the truth Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And is it beneficial to all concerned? And then I realized my error. With the dollar signs in my eyes, I realized that I was not abiding by this code of conduct that was later adopted by Rotary International. Was it the truth? The truth was that if that family left in that red car, they would instantly regret their decision. Was it fair? Not at all. This family, who did not know the perils of car buying, would never realize that I wasn't doing my best to help them. And that is not fair. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? No. This family would never consider me a friend. I would be the guy who gave them a bad deal. Was it beneficial to all concerned? It was only beneficial to me. So it's now time to go get the keys. And I go to the back office, and I unlock the key safe. And the moment I unlock that safe, the keys for the red 2012 V6 in the showroom are right there. And my hands hover over those keys. But I lower my hand, and I grab another set of keys altogether. I then walk to the family. I hand the father his driver's license. And I say, "We have a well-conditioned, used, but certified 2005 minivan over here for under $10,000. And later that month, when one of the other salesmen got that $500, I told myself something. I told myself that it is the strength of family values that helped America become the land of exceptionalism and opportunity. That it is the strength of family values that prompted Herbert Taylor to make his ethical yardstick that is now the legacy of Rotary International. And that it is the strength of family values that made my grandfather who he is today, the man who taught me how to shine my shoe. My parents who nurtured me like my father, who taught me how to tie my tie, and who nurtured me to become the person I am today. Because no matter what your profession is, it is your family that means the most. And a man has to be willing to live by a code that is worth being handed down from one generation to the next. Thank you.